Hey guys, what's up? Back with a video. Today we're gonna do a review, a classic pay-per-view review of this event right here, the 2023 Elimination Chamber. Just got through finishing watching it, and boy howdy, yeah, man, what a fucking show, man, what a show. It's I may be a bit over dramatic here, but this show really brought the wrestling fan back out of me. Um, yeah, man, I haven't had that much fun watching a pay-per-view in such a long time. So let's get to it, shall we? Sorry, I think I've already spoiled how I feel about this show already. So, yeah, so we kick off the show with the women's elimination chamber match. We had the winner would face Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. We had Asuka. Is that even the right? Yeah. We had Asuka taking on Liv Morgan, taking on Raquel Rodriguez, taking on Nikki Cross, taking on Carmella in a elimination chamber match. Let's just make sure I got that right. We got Raquel, Liv, Nikki, Natalia, Carmella, and Asuka. Yeah, for an elimination chamber match. This was a solid way to kick off the show. Very great stuff early. I wasn't expecting too much from this match. I knew who won all the matches, of course, because this happened last February. But I was really rooting for Liv to win, even though she didn't. That's how invested I was in this pay-per-view. And yeah, she did really good. The sunset flip off the cage was great. I love that spot from Liv. Raquel throwing Nikki through the Carmella's pod was great. Carmella was really great in this match too. Yeah, I really enjoyed her stuff where she was picking and moving, being smart about it, trying to avoid people to stay out the way, and then hitting when necessary. That was fun stuff, and it came down to her and Asuka, and Asuka basically put her in a submission that she couldn't get out of, and Asuka, she tapped out. So pretty cool stuff right there. Asuka goes on to WrestleMania to face Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. Big thumbs up, great solid opener. Let's move on to the next matchup, which is the Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar Beast versus Beast match, as I call it. Two big bulls going at it. The video package for this was fantastic. It really made me sad about what was to come, because I knew exactly how it finished, and I knew I was going to fucking hate it. Yeah, the match itself, it went about 4 minutes. I wish it was a little bit longer. But yeah, these two went at it. These two just went bang to the wall. Finishes galore. F5 spears. Hurt locks. You name it. They hit each other with it, and it was going along just great. And then the finish happened where Brock he couldn't get out of the hurt lock, the full Nelson of Bobby Lashley's, and he just low blowed him and got disqualified. So I was kind of baffled by the result, because knowing full well what happens at WrestleMania with Brock and Bobby, yeah, this is kind of at the end of their feud, and it feels like just coming out. If you just watch this event alone, you'd think that it's setting up a rematch at WrestleMania with like a no holds barred stipulation or something. Especially how Brock acted after the match, where he F5'd Bobby through the table and just destroyed the referees and all that stuff. So you'd really think that it was setting up like some kind of no disqualification match, but of course, this would be the end for the feud between Bobby and Brock, as Brock would move on to face Omos at WrestleMania, and Bobby was supposed to face Bray Wyatt, I think. They were saying he's tough anyway, and then Bray got ill, of course, so, less say about that, the better. That's another story for another time. But yeah, this match right here, it was going along just great, but then the DQ kind of ruined it, and of course the fact that it kind of made people believe that they're going to continue the feud, and of course they didn't. It really makes it a bit baffling, and really brings it down, in my opinion. Next matchup, we have the Judgment Days, Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley, taking on the Grit couple, as Michael Cole kept calling them on commentary, of Edge and Beth Phoenix. This match is fantastic, man. The Montreal crowd loved Edge, as you would expect, because we're in Canada, and they fucking hated Dominic, which was fucking awesome. Great atmosphere. It really made a good tag team match, and it turned it into a great tag team match. especially with the heat that Dominic was getting. Great stuff between Rhea Ripley and Beth Phoenix. Really enjoyed their interaction. Wish we would have seen more like a one-on-one match between those two. But hey, I think that ship's passed, I guess, because with Edge being in AEW now. But hey, great match though. My only thing was at the end of this match was I think by how it ended, it felt like Edge and Beth Phoenix had achieved their revenge on the Judgment Day, and they were going to move on with the Judgment Day. But of course, this wouldn't be the end of the Edge Judgment Day feud, as at WrestleMania, Edge would face Finn Balor in a Hell in a Cell match. So, if that was the case, my only small little nitpick with that part would have been I would have had the Judgment Day go over and Edge wanting revenge in that one last match. But I could see it in a different way, as the fact that Edge 40 was done, and then of course he goes after the United States Championship, and then of course Finn Balor costs him that, which leads to the Hell in a Cell match. So either way, it was a very solid match. The results of the match didn't take away from my enjoyment of the match. But yeah, great stuff. Yeah, great stuff. Let's move on to the next matchup, which is the second Elimination Chamber match for the United States, this time for the United States Championship. We had Austin Theory defending the championship against Seth Freakin Rollins, that is, Bronson Reed, Damien Priest, Montez Ford, and Johnny Gargano. Great stuff here. Really made me want to see Johnny Gargano versus Seth Rollins in a singles match in the future. I don't think I'm going to get it, but I can dream, they had some solid stuff. The people I was most impressed with in this Elimination Chamber match was Montez Ford. He had a great showing. Bronson Reed had a fucking awesome showing. He really proved that he's a really good big man. And Damien Priest, really impressed with the work that they did in the Elimination Chamber. But of course it came down to Austin Theory and Seth Rollins. After Montez got eliminated, he kind of was selling a concussion angle, and it was just an excuse so that they could leave the door open, that Logan Paul could get in that chamber and cost Seth Rollins as Rollins was looking to get the win. Pretty good chamber, very solid stuff right there, and it set up Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins for WrestleMania very nicely. So good stuff right there, and it was so good of a booking that I didn't mind Logan Paul interfering. I didn't mind seeing Logan Paul on my TV, which is different, which is unusual. So yeah, good stuff right here. Let's move on to the main event. So let's just make sure that it is the main event. Okay. Yeah, it is main event. We got Roman Reigns. We got this match right here. We got the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns defending his undisputed Universal Championship against Sami Zayn, Montreal's own Sami Zayn. And man, oh fucking man, whew, what an atmosphere, man. The entrances, the reaction to Roman Reigns. This was the right kind of reaction for a hostile crowd, because usually it's the babyface John Cena, John Cena gets goes into hostile territory, but this time it was the actual heel, it was actually the heel going into the babyface's hometown and getting a hostile treatment. So it was good to see it actually working the right way rather than the babyface getting booed. So good stuff right there. The big difference between the 2013 and the 2023 Elimination Chamber, the performance of Roman Reigns was fucking phenomenal. I know it's a decade between the two, but I really could, it's like night and day from the difference between that Roman Reigns and this Roman Reigns. I know it's been a decade, as I said, but yeah, great stuff. Roman really had that crowd in the palm of his hand, really making them react how he wanted them to, and they reacted. They were good all night long. Montreal, definitely on this night, really overtook Chicago as one of my favorite crowds. It's up there with Money in the Bank 2011 for me, because they really helped this fucking pay-per-view. Not that, the in-ring stuff was great, but I feel like if you put this in-ring stuff in front of a normal crowd, I think it would have been it would have been a good event. But this was I think the crowd made this a very legendary event, especially with the stakes being so high, and Sami Zayn being from Montreal, and it really made the main event really awesome. And the main event was great. You know, the main event was great. When it was like halfway through, I said, this is a good match that's going to be made legendary by the fans. And then towards the end, I was like, holy shit, this is actually a great match that's become legendary. A fantastic match that's become legendary because of the fans. Great stuff. It was one of those matches where even though I knew who won, the kick out still got me. And I really thought there was some times where I thought Sami would have it, and Roman kicked out. I was like, oh man, almost marking out, as they would say. But hey, great stuff, great stuff, man. Very happy, very happy. And of course, you had the ref bump. I didn't mind the ref bump. So I didn't mind the interference from Jimmy and Kevin, Jay. And Jay was a bit undecided what he wanted to do, and he looked like he was going to hit Roman, but before he had the chance, Sami Zayn accidentally speared him, which led to the finish where Sami got hit with a chair and speared by Roman. I never heard the fans like a pin drop when the Sami lost. It was kind of crazy, but then Kevin Owens came out and made the save, and the babyfaces stood tall to end the show. So overall, a very solid show, man. This was fucking awesome to watch. I'm glad that I picked this. Me and my nephew did. So good stuff right there. I'm gonna have to thank my nephew next time I see him, because I had a splendid time watching this fucking event, and it just made me happy to be a wrestling fan. It just made it was one of those times where I sat back and just like I got a bit emotional, and it call me over dramatic, but it was one of those shows where I went, man, I fucking love wrestling. And I just fucking love wrestling. It was a 5-match card, so, and I just sat back and I listened to that great crowd, great action, and it's just like, man, I love this. I even said, like, it's even worth the hard time sometimes. It does become a pain in the ass sometimes, like when you hear the backstage stuff like, oh, Meltzer reported this, or Sean Ross Sapp reported that, and here's the plans going forward, and people bitch and moan about each other, the tribalism thing, but when you take that out, when you take all that out of it and you throw it, you throw it behind the door, and you shut that fucking door and you lock it and you just watch the fucking show, it's fucking, man, it's great, man. You take all that bullshit out of it and you just watch the fucking show, and I had a splendid time. Great stuff, man. So anyway, that's good. So yeah, I gave it a 9 out of 10. I was very close to giving it 10, but if I was gonna do the point, if I was doing the 0.5, which I'm never gonna do, I probably would have given this a 9.5, but because of the whole, with the only thing that let it down was the Brock Bobby DQ finish. But this was a very legendary event in my opinion. I know a lot of people won't agree with that, but that's just my opinion. This is my channel. But yeah, I thought this was a fucking legendary event. I fucking enjoyed it. And, I'm going to, I expect when I get into bed tonight, I'm gonna like evaporate into a poof of smoke, because I was so electrified, just so excited and full of happiness at the end of this event. So good stuff. Thank you, Elimination Chamber, for putting me in a great mood. Very happy, guys. Anyway, that's going to be it now, guys. Tell me what you think in the comments. Leave me a like if you deserve it, and I'll see you guys in the future. And I'm out. Kaboom!